Okay, we've got the snowflake candle going. All right, and I dug out my wand. It was packed away in my box of candles, and I separated my candles for some for in the house and some for in a box in the shed. And I can decide later whether I take them with me or let them stay with the selling of the shed stuff. But some stuff I for sure have to keep with me, and that's my magic wand. So we've got a lot to go over that I would like to go over with you. We're going to do a little bit of science here. Okay, so what does that say on the thumbnail? For one, it's a picture of my newest sunflower that I do not plant them, they just appear. And we have green cement here. So I prayed for some grass, and now all of my plant holes have grass in them. So I cut them with the scissors and give them a haircut, and the kitties like the grass. It's just fun. Okay, so we humans also exist amid other reality frequencies, ranges higher than the infrared and the ultraviolet range, which is one wavelength out of what science calls multiple wavelengths or planes of reality. This concept of expanding reality explains why our scientists could only perceive or detect less than 10% of our total reality potential, since over 90% of our reality is eligibly missing. What seems to be the case, based on ancient wisdom and risen new scientific evidence, is that over 90% of our reality exists, but on different frequency wavelengths or dimensions, imperceivable to the naked eye or the third dimension instruments. That's why I tell you, I'm on all different dimensions. I'm here, but I'm here very little. And that paragraph right there explains totally what I'm trying to say. And that's why I love this book. And that's why I love going paragraph by paragraph, because then I can explain a little bit of how I think and feel, but yet you can hear it or you can read it in more scientific talk. I talk pretty weird. Yeah, I talk pretty unscientific. Let's just use that word. It's hard for me to find words. Okay, so what that's saying is we're only using 10% of our ability here, and 3 to 4% of our DNA is activated. Okay, so that's amazing. And that's why I say Rebecca Booby 11. The reason that 11 came on there was because I am on 11 different dimensions plus this one. So I hope you guys dive into this stuff and really figure out what I'm saying. And if you already know, awesome, because that's where I'm at. And you should really know where your reader's at. You know, I'll be listening to a reader and they'll say, well, I don't believe in God. Well, click, okay. Or I'll be listening to a reader and it'll be like, well, I'm a Satanistic worshiper and I love the number 666 and the world's flat and we're, just on and on, a bunch of stuff, a bunch of nonsense that doesn't make any sense to me. Well, I'm not going to listen to their energy reads. That's just me, okay? Maybe they really have a good message, maybe. Maybe, but I don't need to listen to it. I want people that are on the same wavelength as me. Okay, that's why I say Steve is my number one reader, and I mention him every single time because we're on the same wavelength. I forgot to mention Soul Sister, Soul Star of the Violet Flame yesterday, and I wanted to mention her channel because she is right on the money too, and I listened to her. Karen from Silver Lining. You know, these gals, these guys that I listen to, they're just amazing. They're amazing, and they help me throughout my day. Because as you know, I don't listen to fear porn. I don't listen to any porn. I don't listen to the news. The birdie's watching cartoons today. Nature Cat, Sesame Street. Hi, Holy. Are you watching TV with us? And Wilbur loves the cards. Wilbur's in here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a reading from Tasha's Divine Guidance. I mentioned her yesterday. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck, we have somebody still struggling with addictions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because I think it's really important. A lot of you, when I talk about addictions and I say, you know, you need to arrest your addictions, you can't go into 5D with your addictions. A lot of it goes in one ear and out the other, and you just don't realize how serious this is. I had to give up drugs and alcohol in 1995 so that I could have at least 25 years under my belt when this shit's going down. And believe me, alcohol was my best friend. I did not want to give it up. A year later, I gave up cigarettes. So, yeah, it was quite the journey, and I fought it, but the higher power and my intuition overwon. So I said, okay, what's the remedy? And they said the AA program and abstinence and total surrender to God, and we will help you through this one day at a time. And it worked, and it's still working. So I'm just letting you know that that's the overall energy that came out. So if you're going to be into any of your addictions, you might as well just click off and go watch a different channel, because this channel really is for people that are ascending and that are awake and that are going to do the 5D and higher and then come back and help the people in 4D. But I'm not saying that 4D people should click off, because you shouldn't. The people that should click off are the naysayers, the people that don't believe a word I'm saying, or the people that are heavily in their addictions and don't want help. It's kind of like in AA where we'd say, you're welcome here, but if you don't want to get a spiritual guide and you don't want help, then why don't you just go back to the bar and come back when you're ready? And that's kind of the attitude that I have here too, is if this isn't making any sense to you, then just kind of go someplace else. But if it is making sense with you, if I'm relating with you, boy, there's every day I give you so much homework. You know, I give you books to read. Oh, here's a movie to watch. Most of you have seen it, but The Truman Show, Ishmael mentioned that last night, and it really is what we're living in now. And when he mentioned that there's many different versions of certain people, like in politics, for instance, just go back to when you were watching movies and we called them stunt doubles back in the day, right? Well, you believed in stunt doubles, right? And you said, yeah, that makes sense because we don't want the real actor to get hurt doing the movie, right? So everybody said, oh, yeah, stunt doubles are great. But yet when we tell them that there's more than one version of the president of the United States of America, oh, you guys are conspiracy theorists. See, where they only believe what they want to believe. So I don't want those kind of people following me. I want you to believe what I'm saying and know that I am multidimensional, and so are you. But do you realize it? And if you don't, that's where I keep saying, find out who you were in all your past lives. Ask for your DNA to get activated, and definitely get rid of your addictions if you have any. Okay, I know I'm talking a lot today, but we got Chatty Cathy going on. That's what the universe called me. Is this the real life? Is this fantasy? That's the. Now there was so much energy that it just cut out. So as I was saying, is that the Bohemian Rhapsody, the story about Queen, the music, the queen of rock and roll, right? What we have there is 3 days in a row. Is this the real life or is this fantasy? Came on while I was talking. It's my ringtone and somebody called, but I just watched that movie. Now back to the Truman Show. I didn't just watch that. I've watched it several times, and it really helped me. I would say whenever it came out, or whenever, way back in the day, it really gave me a sense of, what do I want to say? It helped me to live in this matrix. It helped me to function in the matrix, wearing it as a loose garment. Now, the next card out is loss of a job and fired, and it's because of your addiction, okay? So what I want to talk about is not about your matrix job. I want to get right back into talking about how I said you're not going to ascend to 5D. You're going to probably go to 3D. And unfortunately, that's being fired because everybody has the opportunity to be the CEO of the company. Everybody has the opportunity to be the supervisor, the manager. But some of you don't get it because addictions, because you're not using your full attention you're not using your full potential. So some of you, or a lot of you, I'm asking to leave the channel. And most people ask for subscribers, likes, and shares, right? And even donations. I ask you to leave the channel. I don't take any money. There's no money or politics on my spaceship, so I try to invert that into this conversation. I do need to use money, and I can't have my head in the sand when it comes to politics either, because I'm still in the movie. Okay, somebody said, well, if there's no politics on your spaceship, why do you bring it up here? Well, because I'm an actor in this movie, and I have to know what the movie's about, and I still have to act. Okay, who am I in this movie? I'm an energy tarot reader with 29 years of sobriety to get me to this point in the Matrix movie, so that I'm not fired and so that I can help you. But as we say in AA, if you're not done drinking, then why don't you go and get done drinking? And when you're done drinking, come back, and then we can help you. Because we can't help you if you don't want it. And guess what? That's the same here. So I don't ask for subscribers. I actually ask you to leave if you're not catching my drift. And that's not to be mean, but it's so that the energy can flow, because I feel your energy. And when I got people that are doubting Thomases, it throws the energy off. I can override it, of course, but it just throws it off. So just go watch a rainbow and unicorn reading, okay? Okay, so someone's going to be lowered into their lower level, and because of their addiction. We have manifesting the life you desire in the reverse. So you're having a problem manifesting the life you desire because you keep going into matrix thinking and addictions. Okay, so it was in reverse. And then we have a karmic family member is involved. So it's the people you're hanging out with. And it's also your karmic assignment. But with a karmic assignment, you're supposed to get an A+ and move forward, not get an F and fail. And many of you are getting an F and failing because you're letting your karmic family members win. You're letting the people with the mask win. And we have divine feminine, high vibration empress is what you're supposed to be, but you're not really doing that. Now, some of you are. So if you're listening and you're saying, well, yes, I am, well, good, okay? But the energy is talking to those that aren't. It's like when I'm at an AA meeting and I'm sitting there talking all this God stuff, right? And how wonderful it is not to drink and telling you a little bit of my testimony. And I got people around me that just can't wait to get out of there and get a drink, or they're drunk, or they can't stand me and don't want to be there. And the word God hurts their ears, right? I can feel that energy, but I can go around it, right? I can go around it and I can stay in my Empress energy. But I don't have to participate in their energy, but it's still around me. That's why we'll stop and we'll say, hey, you know what? If you guys really aren't that serious, you just want your court card signed, or you're here just because your wife's going to leave you, well, you know what? Why don't you just go? Go try some controlled drinking for a while at the bar, all right? And when you're serious, come back. So that's the energy going on right now. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's the energy that's going on right now. Please go to where you connect. Okay? Taking a trip, take a break. Okay? Just what I said. And here's the card. Take a trip someplace else. Take a break someplace else. Hopefully, some of you will check into a recovery center, and that will be your break. Hopefully, some of you will go get the help you need. And I mean anybody. It can be a food addiction, a sex addiction. It can be just an addiction to pornography on your phone. It can be a simple addiction of watching tarot all day, okay? But it's something that's holding you back. And guess what? You've been fired. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take one middle card here. And we've got the earth signs and the water signs. So they're telling me to get grounded, but yet get grounded with your emotions. Now, I don't do astrology, but those are the two cards that came out. And what I'm drawn to is that you have to be grounded. You have to be an actor in this movie. That's why it's good to watch The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, because you have to be an actor in this movie. But if you can be awake to it and know that you're the star, that you're the actor, and that you control the narrative, that's what's important. That's the water sign. That's the emotions. Like me, when I watched The Truman Show and got involved in AA 25 years ago, right? Whatever, 29 years ago, that helped me to be the actor of my own show. Just like today, I'm telling people to leave my channel instead of come to my channel. Just like in AA, we would tell people to leave AA. We'd also have people that we told to come. Just like here, I have people that I want to stay on here. But I'm just saying, where is your thinking? Where is your mindset? Now, I didn't have any trolls. That's not why I'm mentioning this. I'm not even watching the chat. It's just the energy that I'm feeling. And you saw the first card out. It was about addictions. Okay, now we're going to go a little longer because I know that was a lot to take in. I'm going to use the, what is this, the Light Seer deck. And we're going to take another reading and see if it loops back around. So this will be like a double reading because it's already in 20 minutes. But that don't matter. Time doesn't matter. And the shorter the reading, the more surface level you're getting. The longer the reading, the deeper we go. Now that's like with anything, you know that. You go to a meeting that's 10 minutes long versus a meeting that's an hour and 10 minutes long. You get a lot more out of something that's an hour and 10 minutes long. I just don't like doing long readings all the time because I figure people have a life and they have things they have to do. 21:21 on the clock. But I think it's really important when an energy like this comes out that says you're fired. You know, we're talking about your soul here. We're not talking about some job at the bank that you can always get another job. All right. We're talking about your ascension. But we'll make this a quick one. They said it's pretty much right here. Justice is being served. Yep. So just what I said, you can see the scales need to be balanced. Your higher self is actually looking down on you. Now this is what I'm getting from this card. Look at this, because not usually how I get it. Your higher self is looking down on you and saying justice is being served. Do you want to be fired? Do you want to go to a lower level? Then you better balance your shit out. Wow. That's what I got from that card. And fueling it is the truth in reverse. See? It's a no. You're not doing good. Ace of Swords in reverse. You're not finding the right truth. See how the light is shining down? You're falling into the matrix thinking. You're falling into the fear porn. Maybe even the sex porn, the drugs, the alcohol. Something's got you off balance. And your higher self is screaming. So this is a repeat message. I'm going to take a couple from the top. You got to have strength. Yep. You got to get through this. You're not getting this message by accident. You got a lion on one side of your face there. You got the lamb. You're petting the lamb. Wow. This is just a repeat message. See? So High Priestess, have to use your intuition. Intuition and strength is what you're not doing, and you need to get onto it. I'm drawn to her color. See her color, that aquamarine under her chin. Aquamarine under my chin. Using your intuition, the High Priestess. I use High Priest power. I came in as a High Priestess from Neptune, actually. And my addiction had to be arrested because I kept falling backwards. So I do know what I'm talking about when I'm telling you this stuff, because I've been there, done that. And it took me till I was 29 years old to get into the AA program and get it arrested. And that was 29 years ago. So I'm just letting you know that I know what I'm talking about. I had to go through the 4 queens. And now I became the Empress. And I'm waiting to get back to Goddess statue with my twin. Ishmael Perez last night explained about twin flames really, really good. He said that when we're in like the 12th and 13th dimension, there's no gender. And when we come to lower dimensions, we split off to get our genders. That's the twin flame. That's the gender. So I have a male counterpart out there right now, but he may not be here and he may not want to come here. So I may just get him 5D and higher. But while I'm here, I can have soulmates and mission partners. So I want you guys to understand that, all right? We may only get a mission partner or a soulmate in this end of this world here mission, all right? Now, that don't matter because we're with everybody 5D and higher. But if your twin can come in, oh, that's great, right? But if he can't, he or she can't, then settle for your mission partner, settle for your soulmate, but you don't want a fake and you don't want a mission partner that isn't equal give and take, and you don't want another karmic soulmate. You want a true soulmate. So if that made sense to you, I hope it did, because that's the key. That's the key. No to fake and no to karmic soulmates, but yes to soulmates, yes to mission partners. And if you're blessed enough to get your twin flame in this life, in physical 3 and 4D here, wow, you're really lucky. Okay? And I shouldn't say lucky, I should say divinely blessed, right? But you wrote your own soul contract. So we have nobody to blame but ourselves, whatever we are, whoever we are, whatever happens, and we can constantly rewrite our soul contracts. I have a feeling that a lot of our twin flames have decided to come help us, our other halves, but I also have a feeling that a lot of our twins are just going to do it with us 5D and higher, because this shit's almost over. We're almost out of these physical avatars, most of us, especially if you're watching this station. That's why I want to get the ones that don't get it off of the station, because I would rather have very few subscribers and have you know exactly what I'm saying and exactly what I'm reading and exactly what I'm feeling. Peter Frampton, do you feel like we do, right? That's on my playlist. I would rather have that than have a bunch of nonsense and naysayers and people that aren't serious. So, okay, if you're just coming on and you were wondering what that last statement was all about, you'll have to watch from the beginning, because this whole message is about people being fired, people being hired, and about us moving forward out of this movie. We're just actors in our own play. All the World's a Stage by Rush. It's a good song. I'll work on putting some Rush on later. Okay, you guys, I do have 2112, I think, the whole album recorded on one of my playlists. Check out the music I got. And Mr. Vin has a new one out. I'm going to check his out in a few minutes. And I have a playlist for Mr. Vin. So shout out to him. And I love you guys. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.